The comments really get me on this one. So you found oil, did you? Sounds like you guys are in need of some freedom. Greenland is in desperate need of freedom. This person commented saying, your narrative falls apart with logic. The US always gives the country back, Iraq, Afghanistan, etc. Additionally, we don't take any oil. I don't know, but either way, I just think the comments were hilarious. This is putting AI to good use.
Round one. Fight. Perfect KO.
Bye-bye.
Imagine they released a game like that with all of the notable politicians. It would fly off the shelf. Justice Tango put me onto this one. Really good.
I was a worker at HHS. I was fired illegally on February 14th. There are many people who are not getting social service programs, especially people with disabilities. Are you going to do anything to stop what's happening?
You probably deserved it.
I deserved it?
You probably deserved it.
I deserved it.
Dude, that's
wow.
So rude and sad.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Why did I deserve it?
Because you seem like a clown.
Okay, sir, you shouldn't have said that.
I was a worker.
The door closed. So good. That was his movie moment. He probably saw that video of himself online later and was like, that was pretty cool. This person says, imagine getting fired and then following and harassing the management at your old job. He needs to grow up and learn to be a man. There's definitely something to be said for it. I feel like people who have worked normal jobs really just don't have the empathy for this situation because this is the real world. Welcome. It sucks. Although this one did actually, I did feel a little bit sad for this guy.
So because of Trump, I just lost my job. Yeah. In fact, my entire department just lost their jobs. I was one of the head research analysts in charge of discovering how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. But according to our government, that answer doesn't matter anymore. I mean, all those years, all that research, it's just gone. And you know the craziest part is now the world may never know the answer to how much wood could a woodchuck chuck. I'm sorry. Thank you for listening.
I'm so invested in his character. If that man is not an actor, he needs to become one. So this was so weird. This was so weird. Someone AI'd the politicians lovingly approaching Tren de Aragua gang members. This is what happens when you give AI to people to just do what they want. So beautiful. It makes me teary-eyed just seeing true love like that. On the other hand, apparently this is how Trump supporters find true love.
So, do you like barbecue?
Yeah, I love barbecue. Do you?
Sure do. So, have you ever driven an electric car?
Nope. They're terrible. Unless, what college did you go to?
Liberty University. What about you?
South Alabama. So, Team Blake or Justin?
Team Justin. Did you get vaccinated in 2020?
No. Did you? What's your opinion on the border?
I love immigration. I think we need immigrants in our country, you know? Legal immigrants.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes. Are you?
Yeah.
It's not easy out there being a Trump supporter. Speaking of dating, trying to date in 2023 also applies to 2025.
What are you thinking about?
So during the Las Vegas shooting, Stephen Paddock supposedly expended over 3,000 rounds of ammunition over the course of 10 minutes from 27 AR-15s, each equipped with bump stocks. But that would have required him to drop a gun for another after each 30-round mag was empty and then reload each of the 27 ARs at least 4 times over. That's even despite the fact videos from survivors showing non-stop stream of bullets at a fire rate much higher than that of a bump stock AR-15 and resembling more of a fire rate similar to that of an M240 light machine gun. And investigative photos of Paddock's hotel room where he shot from only show 50 spent shells. And what about once when the FBI took over the investigation, Paddock's house somehow burnt down and destroyed all the evidence, and years later America's mass shooting is still ruled to have no motive. And even after Paddock's brother went on air claiming nothing made sense, the following day he was arrested for possessing several hundred terabytes of child porn on a 20-year-old computer running on Windows 95. That all doesn't make any sense. And this is according to the FBI?
Nothing. Nothing really.
This is what inside my mind is like all the time since I found out that we were like lied to about pretty much everything. Can anyone else relate to that? So this will be very hard to decipher in this photo. One of these people is the man who destroyed Stephanie Turner's fencing career just so he could cheat against women. The problem is it's impossible to tell which one, because there's literally no difference or physical advantage. How are we ever going to get men out of women's sports when they're able to hide among us so easily? Oh no. New Jersey shopper says because of Trump's tariffs, she just paid more than twice as much for groceries. Fun fact, those tariffs aren't in place yet.
Costco on one side, a Walmart right behind me. We've been talking to a lot of people who in many cases are doing their weekly shopping. And the common refrain we've heard is that prices were already going up and they are worried they could go up even more and that the consumer is feeling very stressed. We heard from one woman who even said that the same basket of groceries that she regularly buys has now effectively doubled. Take a listen.
I feel like the prices are ridiculous now. It's to the point where it's going to be harder for people to shop because the prices are just insane. Literally, yes, because last week I like literally for the same amount of stuff that I bought, I literally paid like maybe 30, 40 bucks. And now it's like $75 for like 3 bags of groceries. It's like completely insane.
If I remember correctly, the price of eggs actually shot right down recently, and the price of goods in general. I love this one. Full view. Mainstream media view. Your perception of reality depends on what you see and what you are shown. Do some research of your own. I actually think this might be one of the best memes ever. Like the one that maybe everyone on earth should see and just ingrain into their mind. I love montages of Gavin Newsom speaking over the years.
You can get down to LA in 2.5 hours, $55. In California, we're still debating a high-speed rail. What a joke. Well, finally, California is going to get it right with this new high-speed rail. I personally have been supportive of the high-speed rail project since my time as mayor of the city and county of San Francisco. The project is no longer a $33 billion project. The project's years and years behind. The project's wildly over budget. That doesn't mean it's a bad idea. You can get phase 1 done, which in essence is from Bakersfield to Silicon Valley. We do have the capacity to complete a high-speed rail link between Merced and Bakersfield. Now, I know some critics are going to say, well, that's a train to nowhere. We have a real federal partner with our high-speed rail system, an incredible opportunity to finish the work. High-speed rail was mentioned, $4.2 billion is being requested of the legislature to finish the job. Someone who's all in on the high-speed rail, the high-speed rail, not as a rail project, but an economic development project. $3.6 billion. It's about damn time we have a high-speed rail system.
Well, that was 17 years and countless billions of dollars put to good use. For me, it's just the way that he's able to talk with such confidence and no ounce of shame 17 years in. This is another one that didn't quite make sense. If you're going to leave America because you hate Trump, why would you go somewhere that is politically so aligned with his party?
Somebody's watching me.
Bro, so she got pissed after Trump got elected, and she moved her family to the whitest, most far-right country in Europe, and is shocked by how safe it is living somewhere with secure borders.
What an idiot.
I know. The memes make themselves.
This AI video has been doing the rounds.
Just as I was dismantling a corrupt government agency in Washington, a blue-haired liberal employee ran up to me and shouted, "Mr. Musk, you're going to have to get comfortable with calling me the right pronouns or you'll have trouble."
Wow, these liberals.
To her surprise, I calmly smiled. "All right, dear miss, what are your pronouns then?" She said, "They, them." I quickly responded, "Okay, you're both fired."
Brutal. One thing that's concerning is how many people thought this was real. When AI gets a bit better, we are going to be in big trouble. No wonder they're always saying that the Democrats are so much more highly educated. You would need a degree to understand liberal logic.
I want to make sure I got this correct. You hate white men unless they're gay. You love black people unless they're conservative. You're for illegal immigration as long as they don't come into your home. You want to ban guns, but you want the government to still have theirs. You hate capitalism, but you expect these corporations to change their logo for Pride Month. You hated slavery, so you hate the party that was formed to abolish the slaves. You hated slavery, but you align with the party that was for keeping slaves. You don't recognize two genders unless you're talking about their hormones. You hate American values, but yet you want to still live here. Your party controls the House, the Senate, and the presidency, but it's everyone else's fault. You hated the Trump administration, but you're concerned for Mike Pence's life. You say black people can't be racist, but Candace Owens, Thomas Sowell, and Larry Elder are white supremacists. You want to ban guns to save children, but keep abortion to murder them. Comment if I missed anything.
What's not to get? How to liberal. Down with the system. The system is exploitative and unsustainable. No, the system. Okay, I've just noticed what the consistency is. It's just always being angry or offended. Whichever stance allows you to be angry or offended. I solved the puzzle. So apparently Jon Stewart broke from the fold back in 2021 and talked about the lab leak theory. It's pretty funny.
There's evidence I'd love to hear.
There's a novel respiratory coronavirus overtaking Wuhan, China. What do we do? Oh, you know who we could ask? The Wuhan Novel Respiratory Coronavirus Lab. The disease is the same name as the lab. That's just a little too weird, don't you think? And then they ask the scientists, they're like, so wait a minute, you work at the Wuhan Respiratory Coronavirus Lab. How did this happen? And they're like, a pangolin kissed a turtle. And you're like, no, the name of your lab. If you look at the name, let me see your business card. Show me your business card. Oh, I work at the coronavirus lab in Wuhan. Oh, because there's a coronavirus loose in Wuhan. How did that happen? Maybe a bat flew into the cloaca of a turkey and then it sneezed into my chili and now we all have coronavirus. Like, come on. Okay.
Wait a second.
What about this? Listen to this. Oh my God. There's been an outbreak of chocolatey goodness near Hershey, Pennsylvania. What do you think happened? Like, oh, I don't know. Maybe a steam shovel mated with a cocoa bean. Or it's the chocolate factory. Maybe that's it.
And Anthony Fauci and Francis Collins at NIH have said, like, it should definitely be investigated.
Don't stop with the logic and people and things. The name of the disease.
Wait a second.
The building.
Wait a second. Possible that they have the lab in Wuhan to study the novel coronavirus diseases because In Wuhan, there are a lot of novel coronavirus diseases because of the bat population
Sure, no,
there.
I understand.
It's like the saying,
it's
like,
a
wait a
local
second.
specialty, and it's the only place to find bats. You won't find bats
No, but
anywhere
it's like
else.
saying,
oh,
why?
wait, Austin, Texas has thousands of them that fly out of a cave every night. Every night at dusk. Is there an Austin coronavirus? No, it doesn't seem to be an Austin coronavirus. The only coronavirus we have is in Wuhan.
Yes.
Where they have a lab called, what's the lab called again, Stephen?
The Wuhan Novel Coronavirus Lab.
I believe that's the case. This is the problem with science. Science is incredible, but they don't know when to stop, and nobody in the room with those cats ever goes, yeah, I don't know if we should do that.
I agree with you. If science can do it, they will do it.
They will do it. They're like, oh, curiosity killed the cat. Oh, okay, well, let's kill 10,000 cats to find out why. That's what science does. They push things. Can I say this about science?
You can say anything you want about some of my best friends are scientists.
And I love them, and they do such good work, but they are going to kill us all. Here's how I believe the world ends. The world ends, the last words man utters are somewhere in a lab. A guy goes, it worked.
I miss COVID.
I know. Dude, you know what I knew? There was trouble when anyone that came to our country didn't have to get a vaccine. And I go, if you're telling me I can't go to work, but everyone coming in doesn't have to get one, I go,
well, once we found out, when Fauci said, okay, I'm sorry, but if you've had 2 boosters and 2 vaccines, you can get and give COVID to another guy who's had 5 vaccines and 4 boosters. What's the difference between a vaccine and a booster? I don't know, it's just more vaccine, but booster sounds better. Anyway, a guy with 25 vaccines would get and give COVID to another guy with 25 vaccines. That's why I'm introducing the daily COVID shot. Every day you get a shot. By the time you get to your car, you got no immunity. But it's a beautiful 39 seconds.
The crazy thing is that I was pretty worried they were actually going to try to do that daily COVID shots. Nothing would surprise me anymore. So this week I discovered British woman Katie Hopkins, and it turns out she is just an absolute joy to get the news from. Have a look at this.
Breaking news here in Batshit Bonkers Britain, where Trump's tariffs have come into play. And actually, we're being rewarded for Brexit right about now because we've only got a 10% tariff, whereas the EU has 20%. No one will acknowledge that. And apparently no commentator is willing to acknowledge either the concept of reciprocity, or as Americans say, reciprocity. If you put tariffs on American goods, you now face tariffs. That seems quite fair to a normal person. If you produce and sell goods inside of America, you're going to do just great. And I do hope all those criticising Trump will be as quick to apologise when the markets surge and Trump is making America great again. In other news, Klaus Schwab steps down as chair of the World Economic Forum. And actually, you don't want that to happen. You want to keep your monsters where you can see them. He is a snake slithering in your underwear drawer, and when you can't see him, he'll turn up some crack or other, and you really don't want that. And finally, Laura Loomer, my girl over in DC, I love her. She is a cold-blooded killer. She just got rid of 6 national security advisors after her meeting with President Trump. She is the Liam Neeson of the MAGA movement. She will find you. She will hunt you down, and she will kill you. And she has outlived Elon Musk as well. So you go, girl, Laura Loomer. That's it, my darlings. That's Bonkers Britain.
Okay, so if the news was reported this way, I would be watching that an awful lot more. This is maybe how CNN could get their ratings up again. So again this week, Asian people are just, they're really doing a good job with the Trump impressions.
Folks, we're in Chongqing, the city of hot pot of China, and we have to eat hot pot today. What do we have here? Looking good. It's good. A lot of people ask me, why do you like Gyeongyang hot pot so much? When you can take 2 sides, why just have one? I want to have both. I'm having dinner with this hot pot queen. I think it's very reciprocal. It's very matchable. Here's how I think about hot pot. Some people, they stay in the spice for too long. It's too strong. It's very strong. They scare people away. It's very aggressive. They lose the deal. And some people, they stay out of the spice. They stay out of the spice. for too long. I'm sorry, but you know this. You have my respect, but I got my own way of eating it. I love it. But some people, they stay out of the spice. They're too weak. Nobody takes them seriously. But you know how I do this? Sometimes I dip in the spice, but sometimes I don't. You never know what's my next move, and that's how I win. I'm unpredictable. By the way, guys, the authentic flavor of Chongqing hot pot is coming to the United States. You can have it in the States now.
You can have it in the States now, as long as you pay the tariff. Let's have a look back at 2012, Trump on tariffs.
And somebody said, well, what would you do? What can you do? So easy. I'd drop a 25% tax on China. And, you know, I said to somebody that it's really the messenger. The messenger is important. I could have one man say, we're going to tax you 25%. And I could say another, listen, you motherfuckers, we're going to tax you 25%.
That's the difference. And he's finally getting to see his dreams come to reality. Oh, this was so weird. But you know, there's quite a number of people who are upset that the Epstein list hasn't been released yet. But apparently there's some people more frightening than others who are upset.
For every day that they refuse to tell us who was on the Diddy party guest list, I'm gonna oil up one of my bros. And don't think I won't do it. I know where they keep it. It's at CVS. They have it in big, big bottles. I'll oil up one of my bros. I'll put it on the staircase. No one leaves. All you have to do is write down all the names of the guests from the Diddy party. People think Diddy's just, oh, he's a good musician. Oh, no, he's a rapper. No. Oh, and it starts tonight. For every night that I don't know who is on the guest list, one of my bros gets oiled up.
That's pretty scary. If it turns out that the Epstein list doesn't get released during Trump's administration, I think a real life Joker would actually be the answer. The other meme that's going around this week is AI versions of Trump signing executive orders.
Ilhan Omar shall be deported back to Brobangistan so she can be with her husband, which is also her brother. This is how they do it in that part of the world, I guess. In addition, soy milk blockade around the protests, so all these beta soy boys won't have anything to drink, leaving them with no choice but to go back to mommy. And finally, this executive order declares that your tariffs are fucking awesome, and you can officially remain in power for the rest of eternity.
Everyone's just looking so serious.
This executive order is for allowing people who are complaining about your tariffs to be permanently labeled as whiny, retarded, sad little bitches.
Hold it. This is a good one. Is everybody listening?
Just a friendly reminder. The people who are against voter ID wanted you to show vaccine papers. The logic just doesn't quite add up. Unless there's another reason for wanting to get rid of voter ID. Oh well, don't need to think about that. Just need to focus on hating Trump and Musk. Oh, this is so bad.
Animal qui vit parmi nous. Étranger? Non, meurs plus, faut pas. Non, c'est pas.
It's the face. The face does it for me. Now it's time for the tip of the day. Remember, when you bury a body, cover it with endangered plants so it's illegal to dig it up. Follow me for more gardening tips. Yep, follow my channel if you want more handy tips like that. Now, of course, for some of the non-political memes, Gen X as opposed to Gen Z. This is basically any generation as opposed to Gen Z.
So you just be like running around the neighborhood and your parents wouldn't know where you are?
Yep, just had to be back by dinner time.
Which was around what time?
Around sunset-ish time.
Sunset-ish time? What's that?
I don't know, like between 5 and 9.
5 and 9?
It really wasn't that big of a deal.
Okay, well, did you have a phone?
No, they weren't invented yet.
So on top of your parents letting you run around without knowing where you are, they also had no way to communicate with you to find out.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. How did you not get abducted? Maybe that stuff wasn't as prevalent when I was a kid. It's also entirely possible that my generation has more common sense. You know, we're smarter and tougher than your generation. Nah, I don't believe that. I think that is the case, and I can prove it to you. If you just follow me to my van, I'll show you. Your van? There's candy. Okay.
Those were the days, pre-technology. This man makes a very, very good argument for why the number 11 should not be the number 11.
I still don't understand why 11 can't be 1E1. We got 22, 33, 44, 55, but 11 can't be 1E1? That really pisses me off.
It's just how passionate he is about it. 11 will now be pronounced 10-1. Some areas of the country are allowed to say 1-1. I just felt this was really relatable.
Oh, God. I am so fucking done. Just drive over me, world. I just fell. Yeah. Yeah. No. Just done. I just tripped because I'm running and I'm fat. You okay? Just run me over, world.
It's too relatable. This little girl at my cousin's dance recital suddenly realizing she got free will. Awesome. This person says free will / freedom is literally the best part about life. Yep. She's doing her. She's being herself. It's great. Okay, so that's everything for this video. Thank you so much again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.